I'm going to do a short voiceover for those folks who are here to learn something. This starts off with my sketch of my Falcon. I put this up with my projector. I did not freehand this, which is fine. It doesn't have to be freehanded. And I used my circle maker to make these little drops. The idea for this, hey, that's me. Hey, how's it going? That's my Nebraska hat. Anyway, the idea for this picture was the bubbles. I've done Falcons before, so this was no stretch for me. It's a fun little image to do. But I wanted to see if I could do the reflections and do all that fun stuff, and I think it turns out pretty good. So this part of the video, I am using my 8B as in boy pencil, and I'm just scratching in some shading. And when I do this with ink wash, I think that it looks really good the way the pencil lines show through the ink wash. Oh, there I am again. I'm shaking my paint. This is kind of out of order because I don't start painting till the end. But I don't know anybody else that I've seen who does the pencil work and then does the ink wash over the top. I'm not saying I'm special. There's probably 10,000 people on YouTube who do it. When I Google up or YouTube up stuff to look at, I tend to see the same stuff over and over and over again. And it's probably the bigger YouTubers, but I don't see anybody else doing this. So here I am. I put my pencil lines in, and now I'm going over it with this is actually ink. It's not watered down. This is full strength ink. I'm trying to do some like comic book style thick and thin lines here, and it worked out. I was kind of rushing this painting. Oh, there I am again. I'm looking at my white paint because later on I do a lot of highlights with the white paint. So here I am. I am putting in the shadows on my bubbles. And if you want to do bubbles, the best way to do it is go to Google and type in something like water droplets on leaves. That's what I did. And I've done this before. I just needed like a little refresher course on how to do it. Because when you do these, you have to shade part of it, and you have to shade another part of it, and you have to highlight a part of it and highlight another part of it. And it's just a pattern. Once you know the pattern, it's easy to do. So I just put up some round bubbles. I was going to freehand some ovals, but I figured, well, I got that circle maker. I'll just use that. So now I'm going over my thicker black lines. Oh, there I am again, and that's my actual. It's just like a old bucket I got for water. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I usually freehand those bubbles, but this time I used the circle maker. And I'm just darkening things in now. I'm just darkening in, putting in patches of value with my gray tones. And this is the work part of artwork, because later on I go in with my highlights and I have all the fun. So I'm basically just putting some gray around the droplets to make that highlight look stronger. And I'm eventually going to put a super highlight in the upper left-hand corner when I get to that, when that's what makes it pop. It's the same kind of thing when you do an eyeball and you put the eye shine on. It's the same effect. So when you're doing the bubble, you also have to realize what's under the bubble is distorted. And I had kind of free-handed this in my brain, how I do the distortions, and I think it kind of turned out. It's just kind of offset. So when you have two things on each side of the bubble, there's going to offset in the middle, up or down. It's kind of like, they call it diffraction or something. Oh, there I am again. I'm studying this painting really hard because I need to do a really good job with this because I need lots and lots of more subscribers. You know what? I'm almost at 100, and after 2 years, I'm glad to see that. I got 2 today. 2 today. I am shocked. My last video I did is going to break 1,000 views today, which also is shocking, which means this is actually working for me finally. For all this time, I'm actually getting somewhere. So now I'm adding the blue. I have a reference for this. And then the beak or bill actually was blue. So and I'm also backfilling my shadows with blue. That's a technique that you can steal from me. I use this comic book technique. If you look at a lot of comic books, you'll see sometimes they'll backfill the dark grays or black shadows with blue, and it really adds some dimension to it. There's my eye shine right there. That's the selling point. That made that bird picture go from $10 to $10,000 in one thing. Here I am putting on the eye shines onto the bubbles, the same effect. When you do that, it makes each bubble pop. Boom, you see that? Now it looks like a bubble. You know, like I had this painting and I set it outside in the rain and these gigantically huge raindrops landed on my picture. It's a neat effect. I like this. I'll probably steal this again. Oh, that's my cat Sherbert right there. Hey, Sherb. Meow. On the screen right now is a Falcon. I've done a lot of Falcons in my day. On this YouTube channel, I have several of them. And coming up, I will show you a few of them. Those are acrylic paintings, where this is more of an ink wash watercolor. It's a different kind of a process. And I think you'd enjoy watching that if you go back and look. The name of this video is called The Artist's Curse. But before I get to that, I want to talk about something stupid. I got a comment on one of my videos just recently where a guy said, you have some skills, but your videos are boring. And I should know better than to respond to a troll, I guess. But it's hard enough just getting these there. That's one of my Falcons. That's a Falcon with a Mayan headdress, and that's a Falcon with a bunch of spiky things on his head. But I do a lot of Falcons, and that's what my acrylic work looks like. But back to this little troll. It's hard enough just getting this artwork on the page. I'm not a Larry the Cable Guy, and I can't just crack a bunch of jokes. And I try to make it as entertaining as possible. And just a quick little factoid: Larry the Cable Guy grew up and was born about 90 miles from my house in Pawnee City, Nebraska. And I've been to his hometown. It looks like a small town in Nebraska. There's a street in that town named after him. I've seen it. I think it's called the Larry the Cable Guy Street. And there's nothing spectacular about it, but I've seen it. But on the page right now, I am doing a Falcon, and it's fun. I enjoy doing birds because the feathers have a lot of texture to them. I'm working with my HB as in boy pencil and my 2B pencil because I wanted some thick lines and I wanted some thin lines. I wanted to kind of mix things up. And I have this way of doing texture, and the only way I can describe it is just to watch me do it. I can't even explain it. It just kind of flows out of my hand. If you're trying to learn how to do this, the best way to learn how to do it, at least for me, is just to watch me do it. Because it's hard to explain exactly what's going through my brain, especially when I sped up this fast. But I'm just putting a lot of contour lines, and it's kind of funny. It just kind of flows into my brain. I see what I need to do, and I just do it. I know this. I need a line here. I need a squiggle here. I need to fill this in here, and it's just autopilot for me. So right now I am just... oh, there's my new logo. Hey, I'm going to start getting some merch, I think. Some coffee mugs. If I ever blow up and become a huge YouTuber, I'm going to need some merch. So I started off by making this little printout thing of my logo, which is kind of funny because it's a cowboy. And you think that a guy whose page is called Keith Trimm Dragon Art would have a dragon for a logo. But I've done a lot of cartooning in my life, and that particular picture was used for a local town celebration here in Nebraska. It was a Western theme. And I had that thing on my computer forever. I thought, well, there's no use wasting it and letting it sit, so I decided to repurpose it. I mean, I am no cowboy boy by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, here, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. I have got more and more subscribers coming all the time, and it encourages me to do more. It really does. The more feedback I get, the more comments I get, the more I want to do this. It's just basic psychology. So feed my dopamine hit here and subscribe and tell me what you think. So now I'm going on my second layer of ink washes because I wanted to have at least two layers so it has more contrast. One layer works, but it almost looks washed out without the second one. So I'm putting on a simple little second layer of ink wash just to kind of darken the edges down and kind of define my feathers a little bit. Feathers are fun to do. These birds have really interesting eyeballs, and eyeballs is one thing that I really, really work on, and it's kind of like my little trademark. You got to watch and see how I do them. I'm outlining them, getting more definition. I'm defining out the feathers here, and I hope I'm being entertaining. If I'm not, I got a little story to tell you here. Oh, I'm putting in the pupil here. So I'm going to tell you a little story. This is entertaining, so it won't be so boring. Do you remember back when you were a kid, like in 4th or 5th grade? Well, I do. I remember this time I was at this, I don't know what it was some class we did, where I had to sit down at a table. Oh, I'm putting on my first layer of color here. It's brown. I have a reference that I'm looking at, and I'm choosing my colors based on my reference. So I'm in this classroom. I'm probably, 12 years old, maybe 10, and they put a blindfold on me, and this girl was sitting in front of me at this table, and they had all this food sitting on the table, and for some reason I remember they had tongue depressors. And sitting on the table, I noticed right away that there was some peanut butter in a cup. Now, here's a factoid you need to know. If you want to know about me, as a person, you need to know I cannot stand peanut butter. I can't even stand the smell of it. I'm not allergic to it. I just can't stand to look at it, to smell it, to taste it. And I remember, this must have been pretty significant in my life, telling this girl, do not give me the peanut butter. Well, so guess what? I put my blindfold on, and I don't know what she gave me first, some apple slices or who knows what, banana. But here comes the peanut butter. And, back in those days, I don't know, I didn't go ballistic, but I was very upset that the teacher, or even her, allowed them to put peanut butter in my mouth, and I gagged on it, and it was gross, and which brings me to a second weird factoid about myself. I cannot stand peanut butter, yet I can eat a Snickers bar. I don't know what they do to Snicker bars. I think they boil the peanuts and take all the flavor out. I can't smell the peanuts. I can't taste the peanuts, so I have no problem eating a Snickers bar. But you give me a peanut butter sandwich, peanut butter on crackers, and I will, here, eye shine. I put my eye shine on. Watch how I do the eyes here. If you want to learn anything from me right here, watch how I do my eyes. That's what makes my paintings become extremely valuable, and it always ranks them up into the $1 million range. I will sell this picture to you for $1 million. I take PayPal, and my wife has Venmo. So, and right here, I put these highlights right here. These highlights were not on the painting, the original picture. I'm using artistic license right here and adding highlights that were not there just to embellish it. And I think these highlights really like that wasn't there. It adds to the picture so much. And I'm using thick white paint. I'm not using watercolor here at all. So that's another thing you can learn. You can do what you want with your paintings because nobody cares about your paintings. Oh, back to the artist curse thing. Geez, I got a few minutes here. The whole artist curse thing is that somebody gave me the ability to do this and not the ability to make any money off of it. Like I said, I won $1 million from this. I can't sell nothing I do, and it sucks. So I feel like I don't know, somebody gave me, I splashed right there. I feel like somebody gave me something, a $1 million check, and won't give me the chance to cash it in. And it sucks. I mean, I practice this stuff, I work at this stuff, and I'm not going to stand at some art fair in the 101 degree heat trying to hawk this stuff. It's just ridiculous. And nobody's going to contact me and hire me to do artwork for them. That's not going to happen. That hasn't happened yet. So I'm done bitching. That's the artist's curse. The artist's curse is that for some reason, like that guy said, I have the skills. I just don't have anybody with a wallet opened up to hand me any money to do this. So my only outlet I have is YouTube. So like that dopamine hit I need from you guys, like and subscribe, make comments, and that's about the best I can do. So you can take away my curse a little bit by at least being friendly, being nice, and and sticking with me. Get your friends to like this. That was my reference. I went by so fast. Subscribe, hit the bell, like it, and thank you for showing up.